All right, and the winner is Miss India, being crowned Miss Universe here in Israel overnight, the first time the pageant has been held here in the Holy Land. Well, despite the controversy the competition has been facing, it was still widely popular, and I'm pretty sure we can all see why, with gorgeous ladies from 80 countries around the world on stage with an estimated 172 million viewers tuning in. All right, let's now bring Lola Odusoga, who was a former Miss Finland and a runner-up in Miss Universe back in 1996. Lola, thank you so much for coming on. Look, firstly, I want to ask you, there's just been so much controversy surrounding this latest Miss Universe competition here. Tell me, what are some of the pressures that you faced when you were competing in these pageants? Walk us through it all and tell us exactly what it was like.
Well, back in the 90s, when I was competing, it was also very different for me because I was the first Black girl ever to represent my country. So, for example, I had those pressures. I was the wrong color. Well, of course, I also had the wrong type of body because I was a dancer and I wasn't really the modeling type. So there was a lot of controversy about my look, my color, and my figure. So a little bit like everything was wrong. So that's what I was kind of like fighting for the whole time. And all the pressures young people can face when they dream about the pageants and when they actually go to pageants. You can have pressure about how you look, how is your makeup, how is your hair, is your styling okay, can you walk correctly, can you speak correctly? There are a million different ways to feel insecure. And even nowadays, there comes the social media. Yeah. Everybody tells you straight on what they think about you, what they don't like about you. So it's really tough to be with a good self-control and think about the best of yourself, be the best version of yourself. It's very hard.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Mental calmness, yes.
It would be super difficult. And nowadays, as you were saying, with social media and things like that on top of it, it's just a whole nother layer that these people have to deal with. Look, we've been covering the Miss Universe pageant quite extensively. And, you know, while these women are highly educated, many have, you know, very, very highly paid careers, etc., what I found quite astonishing was they're not allowed to be married. They're not allowed to have kids. They're not allowed to be divorced. Do you think these sort of pageants with these antiquated rules are still relevant these days?
What I would say is whatever the company is, there are certain reasons why you prefer the person you are hiring to be something exact. When you want a woman that is in a certain place in its life, you need to set some rules so you will get the exact kind of woman to represent the company as well. And whoever owns the company always gets to set the rules. And I think there is a very good, there is something good behind why you do all these rules. And I don't know why people always try to make them change the rules and everything, because if you want a woman that speaks about certain things, and you know, when you get children and everything, your thoughts, they start to change. It's a different girl after marriage, after kids, than before. So there are rules that are made, and I will appreciate those.
But shouldn't these competitions be focusing on, as you mentioned, on diversity, which includes people of all shapes and sizes and people from all backgrounds, and, you know, women who may have had a kid or gone on to get married? They can still be young and beautiful and, you know, have a high-flying career.
And happily, there are many, many, many competitions. So I think everybody can find a competition for themselves. But Miss Universe is a brand. It's a 70-year-old brand. It has a lot of something that other pageants don't have. And you need to appreciate what it is. You can't just go and change it all, because then it will not possibly be Miss Universe anymore.
Yeah. So, do you believe that it is still relevant these days? Of course, they're still getting millions upon millions of people tuning in. So what is it, in your opinion, if 2021 is the year of, being inclusive and positive body image, et cetera, why, without the obvious reasons of beautiful women, why are people still tuning in massive hordes to watch these sort of competitions when there is so much backlash?
Yeah. I was very happy to see, for example, this year, there was a lot of different body types, of course, different colors and different backgrounds everywhere. But the body types is one that I love most, because you can see different people from different areas. They do have the different body types. And luckily also, like, the fashion industry and the beauty industry, they both have recognized that we are not all the same. We are all different, and we need to have different possibilities to buy clothes and whatever, and we need to be respected no matter what the size. Are we tall? Are we short? Are we bigger? Are we skinnier? Whatever we are still beautiful and perfect. But it's beauty is something that it's difficult. You will always be judged by the beauty, by the looks, because it's easiest. You see the beauty at first. So that is like the easiest way to snack on somebody. So you don't have to know the person. You can just say, oh, you are probably not pretty enough or something. So it's easy. That's why people do it. And I think it all comes from the inside, from the person themselves, because they don't love themselves. And that's something that would help themselves and also other people to learn to love themselves first.
So Lola, fairly briefly, if a young lady came up to you asking you some advice, they were potentially considering entering one of these contests, what would you say to them?
Well, what I've been saying for many, many years, first you have to be very confident about yourself, and you have to learn to love yourself. Before that, I would never step my feet into any competition where you will be judged from your mental opinions, by the looks, by the way you walk, talk, everything. So there has to be something that you have to know your own good things and the bad things. We all have both, and you have to know both. And you have to be very, very confident to realize that what other people think, they don't really, it doesn't matter. It can't matter.